Hello and welcome in. It is 26 April 2026. I'm trying to get all the bells and whistles going here so that we can get show up and running, which is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show Sunday edition tonight. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. And I'm having some issues with my OBS getting certain platforms up tonight. I don't know what's going on. Having a hard time with one of them right now. But I'm going to get John and the crew up here in just a sec. Hey, David, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. We got David Hogg in the lobby.
Yep.
Oui?
How you doing, David?
I'm hanging in there.
Good, good. Because Doc's not here and I got to step out, so we want you to do the whole 2 hours tonight. Is that cool?
Yeah, not going to happen.
You got that?
Doc better show up. There's Doc. We're
you
good.
Can do it.
We're good.
No, he's just coming here to give you a little encouragement, so you can do the whole 2 hours by yourself. Thanks, David Hogg. Thanks.
Yeah, encouragement. You mean like a bag of methamphetamine?
How you doing, Doc?
Good. And yourself?
I'm doing excellent. However, I will not be able to be here Wednesday. And we were wondering if you would be available to fill in for me on Wednesday. It would be you and with Barry.
I will have to check and see what everybody in the household's schedule is, but my preliminary, probably 70%, probably not. Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Like the worst day of the week for me to try to do stuff.
It's okay. David Hogg can do it if you can't.
No, Barry can just argue with ChatGPT for the whole 2 hours.
Well, actually, Nancy said that she would come in and help.
There you go.
Okay, well, let's
The
talk
Nancy
to
and Barry show.
What he's thinking.
I'll send Nancy my notes for how to abuse Barry online.
How to abuse Barry online.
Yeah.
That'd be good for him.
Oh, yeah. He won't expect it coming from Nancy.
Yep.
I think he wants to have Yotivation, but he hasn't confirmed her yet.
Right.
Hey, Wobbly, how you doing there in the Kick Chat?
I think Wobbly's a little wobbly.
Weeble wobble, but you don't fall down, right?
Yeah, exactly. Of course, if you throw them at the concrete hard enough, they'll shatter.
That is true. That is true. They will.
Yep.
Most things will.
Yeah, most things.
Oh, goodness. Did you guys get any naders? I know Oklahoma got thrashed, and so did Louisiana.
None that I'm aware of.
That's good.
Yep.
We
got good rain, though.
Oh, that's good. It's been dry. Been super dry. I heard snowpack was terrible up in the mountains this year here.
Yep. What are we gonna have next? A plague of locusts?
Yeah, that works.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Blood in the River.
Yeah, we're already doing some weird pride festival at Sodom and Gomorrah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
So Yotivation, it turns out, has a chocolate lab that is 9 weeks old, and his name is Duke Frederick.
Really?
Yeah. So
Well,
she's got a puppy.
When he gets to be a man, Athena, our silver lab, probably wants to have puppies.
Puppies.
Yep.
Puppies are awesome.
Puppies are awesome.
I've done a couple generations of Chihuahua puppies, and they're
Oh, wow.
hilarious. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like everything's up and running good now. I was having some problems with one platform in particular. I'm not going to mention which one because, hey.
You should say the platform.
Yeah, that platform.
Full transparency.
Yeah, sure.
We'll kick some dirt on it, spit on it.
Yeah.
God, I haven't posted anything this week.
Nothing happened this week at all. Nothing at all. Especially yesterday. Nothing happened.
Not a single thing.
Not a single thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I had to make sure the world wouldn't unpause because exactly nothing happened at all. Oh, by the way, did I mention I've opted out of reality?
Excellent choice.
Yep,
Excellent.
I finally found the opt-out button. So.
That's
Good for you.
Yep.
It's a good move. Good move.
Oh yeah.
After I lived in a bus for a while, I kind of did that. I disconnected from reality for like 3 years. It was great, and then I came back and I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah. Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's the exact same feeling when you wake up the next morning when you're subscribed to reality. You wake up, you're like, what the heck happened?
Yes,
So,
true. Lately, it has been like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like, geez, another assassination attempt. What, we got to spend the first segment on that?
I think we'll probably have quite a bit to say about that. Yeah.
Yep. God. Gee, guy who wants to kill Trump, his tweets turn out that he was a radical leftist who hated Trump. God, go figure.
No, see, that's got to be fake news, right?
Fake news.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be fake news.
I thought it was what was more shocking is it seemed to be just, I don't know. He is a leftist, clearly. That's obvious.
Oh, yeah.
He's a leftist.
Right.
But he seems like he was radicalized by watching like MSNBC and CNN, not like hanging out with Antifa. It's
Right.
very.
He did
Yeah,
go
he's
to
a
a No
Rachel
Kings
Maddow
protest, apparently. But he parrots the Democrat talking points, which is what mainstream media does. So.
Well, yeah, I made a post about that on Minds. I was like, what's even scarier than MK Ultra assassins? It's MK Ultra voting blocks.
Mhm.
Like you have an entire group of people that were completely harmed by the ills of what went down with COVID, and then they were propagandized to no end. And the boogeyman was Trump. He was the boogeyman, and some of these people are breaking under the pressure. It's going to get pretty weird this summer, I think.
Yeah, as people wake up, they kind of freak out.
Yeah.
I wait they announce the aliens. People are really losing it.
Anna Paulina. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, APL.
Well, I made it up north this week.
Up
Okay.
into the mountains.
Yep, and my rig did great coming up here, man. It I was having issues with it overheating like a year or two ago,
Yeah.
and it didn't at all, man. I was going up like one pass after another. It was beautiful.
That is a beautiful drive up there.
Yeah. It's straight up and down, man.
Yep. Yeah, I made that trip up the mountains to play when I was coaching football down there to play quite a few teams.
Mm-hmm.
And we had our training camp up at NAU's campus to do high altitude training. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, you take kids down that are used to living on the desert floor about even with sea level, and you take them up to the top of the mountains in Arizona, and they all get very groggy and slow.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah. It's kind of like taking goldfish out of the bowl and putting them on the desk as you watch them lay there and gasp, you know.
But it certainly paid off come football season. We were very well prepared.
Yeah, they were acclimatized.
Yeah.
When I used to mountain bike all the time in the mountains, every now and then I'd come back to like civilization, like LA or whatever, and I'd find myself in a gym and I'd get on the stationary cycle. And I could make that thing make noises that like people would be looking at me, sideways for.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What are you, like it'd just be going so hard and so fast on it, not losing my breath at all.
You could see time start to fold. That's how fast he was going on.
How are you doing that? Like that's impossible.
Yeah, altitude is no joke. It definitely is not.
Yeah, and people with bad altitude problems, man, you just don't want to be around them.
Yeah, I hate it when that altitude thing happens, especially with kids. Kids with bad altitude.
Well, it's the opposite, though, is what I'm saying. When you come from the mountains down to the flatlands, it's like you're just Superman. Like, you can't run out of breath.
Well,
yeah, as long as you got the Krypton sun there,
Yeah, as long as there's no uranium around or something.
Yeah, you can get sore, your legs can hurt, you can get a cramp or whatever, but you're not going to run out of breath.
Right.
Did you see that Kenyan guy broke the record? He ran a sub 2-hour marathon.
Yeah, he didn't go as fast as the robots in Japan.
Well,
or China, wherever that was, China.
Those clankers are going to have a battle on their hands, is all I'm saying.
I don't know.
There's a lot of upset people. I think it's the wrong time to introduce
They're
robots.
just going to glue a robot head on a Tesla and look how fast we did the marathon.
Until the battery runs out, right?
Yeah. That's why I only do a half marathon, because you got to charge the Tesla.
Well, they banned that South African runner from the Olympics because of his springy feet. The guy
his blades.
Yeah, they banned him from the Olympics. I'm sure they'll ban robots.
Well, that's because the last Olympic sprinter with the fake legs ended up killing his girlfriend.
No, what they're going to do...
I thought
they're going to do is like
guy.
Futurama. They're going to have their own robot Olympics.
Yep, robot Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it should be better than Robot Wars, because that's pretty bad.
Although building the robot to compete Robot War would be fun.
Well, but pretty soon the robots would build the robots, and that's when we're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's when you get Terminator.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know though. It's very interesting to me, the whole robot thing. I'm like, why are you building them like humans? Like, the best automation is built specific to the job. I don't understand the need for like humanoid robots. It's
so they can replace us.
I guess. I mean,
you don't have to change the dishwashers or anything. It's just put the robot there and let it do it.
And everything in the world is designed for a human, right? So they can fit that design, so to speak, right? They can get in a car and drive it. They can,
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, it's so they fit better in our world and replace us.
I'm just like, it still seems like at a certain point, there's just no point in building humanoid robots anymore. Like, at a certain point, they just don't make any sense.
They'll come to that conclusion eventually when they start building their own robots. They'll be like, why are we building it after humans?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we own the factories. We can make everything accustomed to whatever we want.
Well,
And it's like the difference between R2D2 and C3PO, right? Like it's for purpose.
Yeah.
Right. Except who knew that R2D2 had jets and could fly?
Right?
You know, that came out of nowhere. I think even George Lucas was surprised.
I bet he was.
Probably.
Yep.
Probably. I think that
Yep.
was completely.
Yeah, that reminds me. Did I tell you about the time I was at Skywalker Ranch and I went upstairs in the main house and started writing stuff in a script? Yeah.
no.
No.
That's not true. That's just a story.
Oh, okay.
But there is a company called Banned from the Ranch Entertainment because they did go upstairs into his office and started naming characters and drinking some alcohol. So the punishment was they got banned from the ranch.
I am not surprised that people tried to party in his office.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, you know, as an employee, we knew better. You know, when you're in the main house, do not go up the stairs. You know.
Well, I mean, all good slaves do. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, hey, he gave us a turkey for Thanksgiving, so you know, Massa was pretty nice to us.
Oh, was that with Lucas Films? Or
Yeah.
Was that, yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit, he took really good care of his people. You know,
Yeah,
we
that's
had
a surprise.
free insurance for the longest time, and it included you and your whole family, and you didn't pay a penny. Yeah, I mean, he took really good care of his people.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
A lot of film companies don't.
Yep. Well, you know, he's a little different than your regular, you know, film company.
This is true.
Yep.
Which is why he destroyed it, smashed it with the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the illegal copies of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Yep.
It really is. Like I don't much watch this. I'm kind of a traditionalist. There's only 3 Star Wars.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that's come out as of recently, the way that people talk about it, I'm just like, man, how much did he have to be paid to give up his IP to have that done to it? Like
$4.5 billion was the figure.
Oh man, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I would give up my principles for that much. I think probably.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he thought that they were going to continue doing the Star Wars stuff, you know, because he had the stories already drafted out and everything. And they're like, no, thanks, George. Yeah.
Oh,
Matter of fact, they're trying to reinvent all the characters, so they don't have to keep paying him royalties, because he still gets paid. If they use the old Stormtrooper or have Yoda or Han Solo, he still gets a royalty from it.
Oh man,
That's why they kind of reinvented Episode 4 when they did Episode 7.
that makes sense. Why they would? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep, that's why what Star Wars Galaxies or whatever, the Galaxy's Edge or whatever the heck their Disney attraction is, doesn't feature any of the or very many of the original characters. You know, that's why Darth Vader's not running around, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that gives them a lot of latitude to make it gay and put a girl in it.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that's what happens when you hand over Star Wars to a woman. Yeah.
Look, I like. There's some women that have made some good movies, but when a female does take over a male franchise, it tends to be destroyed.
Especially when they wear T-shirts that says the Force is female. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
they had an agenda, and that's what the problem was.
Yeah. The lesbian witches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff me and my buddy talk about on our Wednesday show occasionally.
Okay.
Although we haven't talked about that kind of stuff and all, particularly the Star Wars stuff. We kind of do independent stuff now, mostly.
Right. Well, Star Wars is dead to most people now.
Exactly.
Yep.
You adding articles there, John?
Well, there's enough. I mean,
Okay.
You're going to
I
talk
don't
for an
necessarily
hour
have
about the
articles up, but I
assassination.
got some stuff I want to talk about. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Well, if you got anything else you want to bring up, by all means, you know how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't really been paying attention this week. I just been watching spring football. That's pretty much been my whole week.
Mm-hmm.
Catching up on the indoor football. What's going on in the league this year?
I just realized Mark moved his camera, so now you get to see the fan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I have more than one OnlyFan. I have one there and one above me.
Ah.
It looks like you got your lights turned off too. Finally.
Yeah, I mean they kind of put a glare. If I could.
You didn't cover them this time. You just turned them off.
Yeah.
And what about the gay ram? Did you figure out how to fix that?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of like the gay of Hormuz. It's just totally ignored.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Just looking.
Yeah, it's going to be like 28 tonight. I was sitting out in the most beautiful weather. It was so nice down there, and I had to leave to come up here for work, but I don't know. My saving grace is I know it won't be more than like a couple weeks of this, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, 28 at night tonight and like 58 tomorrow is a high.
Hopefully you got propane or a lot of blankets.
Oh, I'm heat. I got plenty of heat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm blasting. I was like sleeping. Yeah, I was abusing it last night.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's it feels very like it feels like fall here. Right now, if you just like sat me down and said what time of year is it, I'd definitely say it's fall.
Well, it already got hot and humid here, so it just like happened overnight. It's like boom. It's like okay, it's hot, it's miserable. Crank up the AC. Yeah, I can hear Mark's fans.
I was getting really used to the 90s.
You can hear my fan?
I was digging that.
Yeah, well, something happened. It got really loud. Anybody else hear that, or is it just me?
Might be me breathing. No.
No. Don't hear anything now.
I got like 5 in front of me too. From
Okay.
the computer.
No, it sounded like a box fan running full speed.
No, it's
No,
actually
I guess
running
first-
low.
Okay.
Yep. Man, I've been cranking out a lot of music here lately.
So you're the guy using up all the electricity in Virginia, huh?
Yeah, he's wiping out the rainforest.
Yeah.
Yep. Kids, he's the reason your RAM costs so much. Yeah, he's the reason you got to pay a 35% premium on a graphics card now.
Yeah, that bottleneck at the physical cost end, both electricity and their building, all the stuff that they need to build out their data centers, has caused them to close a couple of their deals and call them off.
Yeah.
I was hearing about a big data center down in Texas, that big, huge one. I can't remember. Fermi, I think it is. The Fermi Center. They still haven't found customers to fill out that huge data center they've built.
Yeah, people are backing off. Well, that,
Yeah.
and, now they're not going to let your AI be woke.
Going here.
Yeah. Well, people are starting to realize, it's like, oh, it's not like a Walmart.
No.
Don't they have to generate their own power?
Supposed to.
What they're probably going to do is, tack something onto our water, sewage, and recycle on top of the electric.
Yeah.
That's what they did the last time.
Yeah, power will go to the highest bidder, and we won't be able to afford to run our electric stoves because they banned the gas ones.
Well, I got a gas one yet, so.
Shh, don't tell anybody, Mark. What's wrong with you? They're going to put you on a list. They want you to register if you have chickens.
I got a propane grill, too.
There you go.
That's the way to do it.
Taste the meat, not the heat.
Yep. I got a solar-powered George Foreman grill.
What? No.
Yeah. Takes about 4 days of direct sunlight to cook that burger, but,
Oh, my God. Anyways, let's go ahead and change rooms, and I'll ring you guys right back in here.
You too, David. We'll see you
Bye,
next
guys.
week. Or
All right.
Wednesday or
All right.
whatever.
See you next Wednesday.
All right. That's pre-show. Everything was sounding and looking good so far. Let me bring the guys right back up in here. Look out, cats, dogs, and kids. Curtain climbers, crumb beggars, and all those other goodies. Let me get us back over here. There we go. There's Doc. Hey, Doc,
Hello.
welcome back.
All right.
Hello.
There we are.
Just you have Prince Albert and the Khan.
That'll hurt. That'll hurt. You gotta be careful. When you take the lid off, make sure you let him crawl out on his own. Don't yank him out. It's not good.
How many people under 40 would even get that or know what any vague reference what Prince Albert and the Khan is?
I know, and I can see a Prince Albert, like, there's a tobacco tin.
Yep. I get that every now and then from my tobacco.
But it was common enough back in the day that it was a prank call where enough people would say yes and it worked out.
30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds.
Ours was always your refrigerator running. Well, you better go catch it.
Go get it! Oh boy, I'm cutting it short here.
All right, here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live for the very first time tonight, right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show Sunday night edition for April 26, 2026. So 4/26/26, nice day there. With me tonight, we got Doc in the house. What's up, Doc?
Not too much. Sorry, I missed you guys last weekend. Glad to be back.
Oh, it was, it's fine. I mean, you know what happens. And I got to spend some time with Willie in the second hour, so that was fun.
Excellent. I hope everybody enjoyed Willie.
Mm-hmm.
He is a hilarious hoot.
Yeah, and his brother James came out for a little bit too, so we got to talk to him about some more serious stuff,
Very
which was
nice.
fun,
Very
interesting.
nice.
It's always nice to see other people's take on all kinds of different news, so we got to enjoy that. Meanwhile, let's see, the White House Correspondents Association dinner was last night in Washington, D.C., and of course, a wacko lefty came out of the woodwork to try to assassinate the cabinet. What was his target? His target was high-ranking officials, including Trump. Anybody he could get. A nut job, a psycho, a teacher, a very gifted mind, by the way. Somebody who went to MIT, was high honors. Went out to California, worked as a teacher, and was even awarded the Teacher of the Month for Torrance, the city of Torrance in California. Teacher of the Month, high honor. Really well respected in the California school district. Why? Well, because he was a left-wing nut job. This guy came in there, guns ablazing, shot at a couple security officers, rammed past the security gates, got into the lobby, and was taken out. At first, we thought he was dead. Then we learned he did, in fact, survive. So get ready for all the glory that entails with his trials and, just living on to be another Mangiano, a hero to the left, right? Like Luigi.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got a situation here, folks, where this is now the third real direct attempt on Donald Trump's life in the last 2 years or so, 2.5 years. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting really ridiculous. And he wasn't, I keep calling him a psycho because he was at the No Kings rally and all this other stuff, but he left behind a little bit of a manifesto, Doc. And it was just like you were saying before the show, it's like he really just watched Rachel Maddow in The View and took it seriously.
Yeah, it was, I was actually quite shocked at how just kind of like normal mainstream media talking points. Now, granted, the mainstream media has gotten pretty wild over the last decade with their accusations and how they throw around certain terms like Nazi and racist and things like that. But it's just weird to me that he has been so programmed over the last 10 years by this mainstream media hatred of Donald Trump that he felt like he couldn't take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange.
Yeah, and it's like he was reading Chuck Schumer's weekly newsletter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the level of radicalization. Like he was actually listening to some of these people on the left, Hakeem Jeffries, and just believed everything they say and took them seriously.
Yeah.
And therefore, he was a rapist, a pedophile, all these different things he thought Trump was. Because they alleged to it. They wink, wink, nod, nod, and talk about the Epstein files and all the evil here and there and everywhere to be, found. But yet it's crazy. It's insane. And yet the left really thinks these things are true. Go ask any college kid about Trump being a pedophile and they'll all say, well, yeah, of course he is. Guilty. But wait, I've never seen any allegation whatsoever of him being a pedophile other than those college kids saying that they know it's a fact. Right? The Epstein files never pointed to anything about Trump. If they did, it would have come out years ago and they would have held it against him. They would have taken him down decades ago with that kind of information.
Yeah, unfortunately, the mishandling of it by the DOJ and Pam Bondi really has. Now Trump does have some personal blame to go around. He kind of dismissed it a little bit more than he should have. I don't think he realized how important it was in the narrative out in the world. I don't think he understood how much the Democrats were using it as a narrative against him in public. But the reality is there are people who believe that now because they believe the news, because that's who you listen to. You go to the news, and if the newsman says this is what it is, well, that's what it is. And so it used to be just these shooters were crazy people who were on the internet somewhere. But more and more frequently, we're getting guys like this who are just Democrats pushed over the edge by Democrat propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And it's frightening stuff.
yeah, it's very scary. Yeah.
I saw one of Trump's advisors on one of the news shows this morning. Pardon, I'm just recalling what I watched this morning, and she wanted to. I think it was Margaret Brennan. She wanted to ban guns on trains now because that's how this guy got his trains across the country, and they should have better inspections of people in trains. And let's blame the guns, and let's blame our lack of patting everything down. In other words, let's bring airport security to trains, which is ridiculous. You can't do that in a rush hour train, right? By any means.
No.
But they're doing all, and the guy looked back and just said, "Look, man, this is a psycho who believed these crazy talking points that are coming out of the left. He's just buying what you're selling. He bought it hook, line, and sinker. You're selling it. He bought it, and stop lying. You know what I mean? Stop lying. Stop this crap. It's got to end. At some point, you got to wake up and just say, hey, this is so dangerous for our society. There are people that take it seriously. Because you're on TV, they actually think you're real.
Yep.
And you know what you're talking about.
Exactly. But they won't, because I will say this, and I mean it. A lot of these people who are these talking heads on these TV shows, they want this kind of thing to happen. They want to push Trump out into the grave or make sure his life is miserable. They actually are aligned against him with, I would say, what is the bureaucracy of the state. They're aligned together, the rogue elements of the FBI, the rogue elements of the CIA, the rogue elements of the Democratic Party, the rogue elements of the Republican Party. They all hate Trump. And they are aligned in creating these narratives out there for this purpose. I think they want violence. I think they want the reason to crack down when they get back in power. I think they want to create chaos to make people scared so that they give up all of their power and their freedom so that they can be safe and not scared anymore. And I think it starts by, of course, making Trump the bad guy. That's the start. But then there's more to it to come after. I don't think Trump is the only target here. I think we're all the target by these people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just standing in between us and them, right? He said that many times before. It's like they got to go through him to get to us. So they're going to go through him. And, he said that in his first term. And look what they did to him once he, in between his first and second terms during the Biden years, they didn't do much to Trump until he said he was running. Yeah. Right. Once he announced he was running again, then it was all hands on deck. And we saw all these people travel to the White House to meet with the Biden administration. And, the days thereafter, literally the days after Donald Trump announced, and we see people associated with Letitia James and, the Southern District of New York and all these different areas where they eventually came after and attacked Donald Trump on a legal basis. They'll do everything. He'd even say it, I'll do everything under the law to get Donald Trump, to stop Donald Trump. Anything I can legally do to stop him, I will do. Well, that means using the law as hard as you possibly can to go after him, because that's legally allowed, right? Just because your DA is corrupt doesn't mean it's necessarily illegal what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. The lady down in Florida, or Georgia, I'm sorry, Georgia was the same way. She had this got elected running on the idea of going after Trump. Fortunately, that one got all dismissed and everything. But New York is a stronghold of this radical kind of corporatist wing of the Democratic Party that hates Trump. They've been embedded for a century up there. But the idea that once Trump's out of the way, that this is going to stop, I think that's I kind of think that's a fool's thought. I know you don't think that, but there are some people out there who are mistaken, older Republicans mostly, that if they get rid of Trump, this all goes away and the radicals stop. And that's just not going to happen. They're going to go for the revolution. That's what they want.
Look at how they treated Mitt Romney. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or McCain.
Yep.
Right? McCain was Satan incarnate until he wasn't. until he came back around after he was no longer relevant, and then they all loved him. You know what I mean?
Well, look how they treat moderate Democrats. Look how they treated Sinema and Manchin.
Yeah, or Fetterman.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Alan Dershowitz. Right, we talked about that on Wednesday. He officially left the Democratic Party and registered as a Republican. Alan Dershowitz, right, the Harvard law professor from been around everyone's entire life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that guy. I knew who he was back in like the 80s and 90s, right? Like he's just been around forever. OJ, you know.
Yep.
So, yeah, and he left the Democratic Party, became a Republican, which is unthinkable, you know, for him to do that really, because he was willing to sort of like be a Democrat, plug his nose, and maybe vote against Democrats here and there where it was needed. But now he's just officially come full circle. Like, screw you guys, I'm going home. You know, what they did to Rudy Giuliani, he saw that all first front row, you know?
Yeah. It's probably pretty terrifying for guys in his circles with how the youth feel about the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, the younger generation, while they lean what would be considered conservative ideologically for the men, and the women kind of lean pretty extreme left, the reality is what they all kind of want is the government to actually do something for them instead of the older generations. They're kind of upset that they've been stuck in the situation that they've been in, and that's where you see the radical Democrats getting a lot of their support for. And the Republicans have ignored them too, and it's not a good thing. It really is pushing a lot of people to more radical stances. I think the squeeze from both sides is part of the reason we get these kind of shooters, borderline guys who are, you know, they're lefties, but at the end of the day, they can't handle the society the way it is, and we've not done our youth justice as a society.
Yeah. And wait, it gets better for them because they're about to spend the next 30 years paying Social Security to all the, you know, the boomer bubble that's about to start retiring and collecting. And it's just going to run out. You know what I mean? The generation now, you know, literally just above us, that is, you know, in their mid 60s that are starting to collect, the boomers.
Yeah.
They've set this whole thing up. You know, yeah, they did the 60s, which was great. They revolutionized, you know, sex and, you know, freed the bra, and they brought free speech to college campuses via Berkeley. They did all these things, and then they just kept borrowing and spending and borrowing and spending and bringing in this new world where it just the next generation or two just were off. You know, I'm talking about everybody out there pretty much, you know, but we broke something in America. We used to be a very pragmatic, family orientated country, and we turned into this nuclear family and, you know, got away from the morals that kept us together and added on debt upon debt upon debt to the tune of, you know, nearly $40 trillion we're coming up on, with no end in sight. And our revenues are about to fall off a cliff compared to our expenses going forward. You know, you want to keep everybody comfortable and whatnot. I mean, there's just going to be 3 or 4 people retired for any 1 to 2, you know, people actually working. So we have to support that basically welfare state moving forward. And they're not going to be happy about it. They're really not. They didn't vote for any of this. They just were inherited this debt. Right? If I'm coming out of college now, I got $200,000 in debt to go to school. That's a scam that was set up for me. I realized shortly after getting out that it's a scam.
Yeah.
Right? What did you actually learn that you're going to use on a day-to-day basis in your college degree? Right?
Yeah, very little unless you were in one of the extreme sciences.
Yeah, and even then, you're not going to use it for a while because you're going to be pigeonholed into some, you know, a starter job, an intern or whatever, and you'll get to use 10% of your knowledge, but not much more.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be the job world that they're headed into, and Look,
Yeah.
I don't condone what this young man did, and in fact, I think violence is the complete opposite direction. You should be taking your energy and putting it into building things, but building things for yourself. You know, don't go build something for that old man who has that big corporate company. Don't go build for him. Build for yourself. We live in a generation now where that's possible. The technology's there. Go build for yourself. But I can understand the frustration. Like I'm very concerned that my son is not going to be able to ever afford a home. He's a mechanic. He works with his hands, and that's what he loves to do. And he does tattooing on the side, and he loves doing that. But I'm concerned that no matter how hard he hustles, he's never going to be able to afford a home to raise a family in. He's going to have to be a renter for the rest of his life. And I don't want that for him, and this generation doesn't want it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of sacrifice that people, you know, you have a hard time doing it when you can afford that car, and you go in and look at that car and you're like, I can afford this. This isn't that bad. But then that's like, I don't know, $600 a month you're spending in a car for the next 8 years or 7 years or 6 years or whatever it is, you know,
Right.
just it's crazy amounts of debt you're getting into. And when you look at the value of what you paid into that car, I have a friend of mine he's going to end up paying in the next 6 years nearly double what the car's worth, what its sticker value was. You know, you put out the payments, and I mean, his payments were nice and round and easy to work with mathematically. I was pointing this out to him, and he was just almost like didn't believe me. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're going to pay like $75,000 for this car over the next 6 years, with a sticker price of $38,000. Like, just be aware of that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You got the car, but you know, understand finance. Right? What could you have? That could have been a down payment for a house over 6 years. That $35,000.
Yeah, well, and the worst part about this is that we now have like you said, the debt compounding, creating the need to spend even more to grow the economy, to make up for the debt payments, which then devalues the dollar further, makes the labor costs go up. So it's harder to start a business. It's harder to, so it's just a dynamic that these kids didn't ask for, that they've been entered into, that they now have a voting say in. And that is very dangerous if you don't address them, because the Gen Z millennial age group, those two age groups, are significantly larger than the Gen X group. And so we're basically, you know, as Gen Xers, I assume that you're at the higher end of the Gen X and I'm at the lower end. But as that group, we're going to be at the whim of the younger people after being at the whim of the older people our entire lives. And it's, it's going to be terrifying if they all vote socialist.
Well, fortunately, we've got a really good way to counter that, which is a guy named Mohan Zamdani. Or Zohan Mamdani in New York City. Zohan is an official nutbag, and he is officially taking down New York City all on his own now. It's really impressive. Did you see this video he put out on April 15th where he stood in front of, what was it, Kevin Griffin? I think his name is the president and CEO, the founder of Citadel Capital. Yeah. He sat in front of his $250 million penthouse and said, hey, this guy's not paying his fair share. People like him, we need to go after him. They've got all this nothing. Let's tax. Now, he doesn't live in New York, right? He was in Chicago. He got sick of Chicago and moved everything down to Florida. So now he's got, you know, he's a multi-billionaire. He's got places all over the world. And he happens to have one in New York, and Mamdani's coming after him. And they're about to break ground on a gigantic, you know, high-rise complex in the middle of the city. And they're thinking about now, all of a sudden, hey, you know what? Let's not do this. Let's not do it. Why would we invest more in Manhattan? There have been thousands of companies that have left New York since the election this year. Like, I think 1,100, you know, companies, some absolutely massive, some, you know, mid-size, whatnot, are all leaving New York as of this year, going to Florida and Texas mainly. And when they get to Texas, you got no income tax, you know,
Yeah.
no corporate tax. You got all these things that just make you, if you were making a lot of money in New York, you're going to make a whole lot more in Texas or Florida. And real estate isn't as expensive in Texas as it is in New York by any means. The 500 grand gets you a really nice quote unquote mansion in Texas.
Yes. Yes, it does. And their prices are falling right now because they overbuilt for the COVID migration. So they have prices falling down there.
Yeah, which, give that to somebody in New York who's going to sell his, $1 million apartment out there, which is a small apartment for $1 million in Manhattan.
Yeah,
you're not talking much. So maybe it's a $5 million apartment. You move into a $5 million house in Dallas, you're a king. You just inherited. You went from living in a 3-bedroom, apartment with a nice view of Central Park to a mansion, a genuine, bona fide mansion
with a ranch attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah, an acreage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. I mean, these socialists. It's beautiful that Mandami is giving us a taste of what those radical Democrats would do. Hopefully, that shows people not to go that direction. But we need some help from the Republicans too. We need the Republicans to actually secure the elections. We need Republicans to cut some regulation. Make the young people be like, oh, okay, they are doing stuff. They're not just blowing up people in the Middle East. They're actually doing stuff for us. Oh, okay, we'll vote for them. Because that's the way this young generation is now. They need results. If they don't get results, they'll move to somebody else.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think it's a blueprint, what he's doing in New York or other major cities. Chicago's going down the same route. LA seems
Portland,
to be.
Seattle, LA, all of them.
Yeah. And so, it's just going to be this massive difference between Texas and Florida and the rest of the country. At some point, it's just going to be like, wow, if you really want to succeed in this country, if you just graduated high school or college or whatever, and you really want to make a name for yourself, you got to go to Texas or Florida,
Yeah.
It'll be, just like that. If you're up in New York, it's just a dead economy. And, they talk about, okay, we drive out all the billionaires. So you drive this guy out of his, $200 million apartment, and you've driven out so many other billionaires that he takes a loss on it and he sells it for, I don't know, 180 million or billion. I'm sorry, million. To him, tiny little loss, whatever. But now the market for these high-end apartments in New York is starting to go down. And do you know how many people own those high-end apartments in New York as investments? Like 90% of them are investments for people in Dubai or Hong Kong or, Beijing or Europe or whatever. They buy them in these, LLCs. They create the little company in LLC, buy it in that, and hold it in that name, and they get big tax advantages for doing that. And you don't even ever really know who owns it. It can be masked 50 different ways.
Yep.
And so that's a big thing. Now, all of those people are getting cold feet at that point and thinking maybe we need to sell too. So you take a giant hit on the high-end real estate, which trickles all the way down, and suddenly your $3 million apartment that's a 2-bedroom with a nice view somewhere in New York, that's not looking shaky too. You might be underwater on it. And so so what have you done? You brought down the price of real estate. Congratulations. But at what cost? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the craziness of what this guy's doing. He's driving out anybody that can afford to live there at the cost that it is, which leads you to believe that maybe their goal is to just buy up all this property after everybody leaves for pennies on the dollar.
Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about before how they just are trying to put in a policy in place where there's a bunch of nonprofits that have the right to buy your property from you before anyone on the free market can. So when you list your place, you have to wait like 4 weeks. You have to put it up, put a price, wait like 4 weeks, and let the non-for-profit groups out there look at it, bid on it, whatever, if they want to. Then if you don't accept anything, you can put it on the normal market, right, for the whole world to start making bids on it. And then once somebody makes a bid on your property, you have to then give it back over to these, nonprofit groups that are in, New York City looking to purchase real estate, plus different city departments that might also want to do that. And if they are interested in it, they can tie you up for like another like 90 days or something, 2 months, where you're simply having to give them the time to do their due diligence and research before you can actually take the offer that you got from a legitimate business partner that is a human being out in the real world, the free market. So
Yeah.
they're going to make it very, very difficult to transact real estate in New York by putting all these layers of nonprofits that are just there to soak up and accumulate as much of this real estate as they possibly can.
Yeah. That seems like the goal. I mean, that really, if you put all these different pieces together into one puzzle, the picture you get is that they're intentionally destroying these cities so that the city can then take over the ownership of the property.
Yeah, and then they can start doing good stuff, right? Then once they own everything, then they can start maybe, hey, then we'll lower taxes. We'll make it great. We'll make this the most, competitive city in the world, and we'll own everything.
I mean, but does that not line up with the 2030 agenda that we were all so worried about during COVID times? I mean, it does seem like it's lining right up. Like I know that Mondani is a true believer. He's a socialist. He's dyed in the wool communist. He absolutely is a true believer. But I don't think the people that put him in charge are actually true believers. I think the people that put him in, well, I mean, the people that made his campaign go, the money that put him in the place to be successful in that election. I don't think they're true socialists. Do you?
There's a lot of die-in-the-wool Democrats in New York that have big old money.
That's what I'm saying.
And they just cut the checks, and it's a giant check, but they don't really notice they cut giant checks all day.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's going to be New York's not going to be a place you want to be in for the next 5 years. That's for sure.
Yeah, well invested in, like owning real estate for sure.
For sure.
But even trying to start a big business, God, there was that one YouTuber who set up shop in New York forever, Louis Rossmann.
Rossmann, yeah.
And he talks about leaving New York and going to Texas and how, like, months after he left, he was still getting letters from New York saying, you owe us money, you owe us this, you owe us that, answer this, respond to us. And eventually, I mean, it just got to the point where he's like, screw you, I'm gone. Like, I'm just not going to reply anymore. If they want to sue me, they can sue me. But I'm in Texas, they're there, and I never plan on stepping in foot in New York City again in the rest of my life anyway.
Yeah. How many businesses did they run out of that state and that city just like him? Yeah. Because that guy ran a repair shop for years.
Mm-hmm.
And they just ran him out of the city.
Yeah. Tech repair. He was like, he'd fix computers and stuff,
Yeah.
And he was all about teaching people how to do that basic stuff and how to get access to the parts to do it and fighting for your right to get those parts. To be able to repair yourself. It's a big fight that is, shockingly one-sided as far as your ability. I mean, John Deere, I don't know if they're still like that, but for a long time, you couldn't repair your John Deere tractor. So if you live on a farm in the middle of nowhere and your John Deere tractor breaks down, you had to have a technician come out, or you had to haul it into, the factory or one of the shops or whatever, a certified place to get it looked at. And, money, and time, two things farmers don't have when they are, actively harvesting or planting or doing whatever they're doing,
Exactly. I think there was a court case that was recently decided on that gave the farmers the right to repair their own John Deeres. I think John Deere lost a lawsuit that... I'm not 100% certain on that, but it was a really big fight for a long time, and Lewis was at the forefront in fighting for that right to repair. And he went around to the country fighting for laws all over the country, different state laws. I mean, because, again, like you said, they create this situation where you can't repair your own stuff. That means you don't really own it. If you can't repair your own stuff, then why own anything? Again, brings me back to that whole 2030 agenda, right? You'll own nothing and be happy.
California is looking this in the next couple months here to vote on a amendment that would tax 5% of any person's net worth over a certain threshold in the tens of millions level, I think it is, where 5% of that is due to the state if you live there on January 1st of 2026. So you could see the writing on the walls right now, look at the polling and say, I'm getting out of here, but you're too late, right?
Yeah.
They made it go retroactive. They're going to come after you. You owe them 5% of your net worth if this thing passes. And so, I mean, if that does, first of all, it just shows a lack of understanding of how venture capital works. And venture capital is what makes California wealthy.
Yes.
You invest in startups, you help the startup go, and then one day it goes public, and one day after that, you can start trading, the stocks on the open market that you own. But for a decade or more, you're locked into that company. You have no way to really value it, or other than what the last tier or tranche of investment was in that company. You know what I mean? So if you invested a long time ago and somebody just went out and raised, $1 billion for 10% of the capital, well, now you know that company has a value of $10 billion. And they'll say to you, oh, well, you own 1%, 10% of that company. So your net worth is also $1 billion. And so we want 50 million of that.
Yeah.
5%. But you're like, wait, it's tied up in the company. I can't sell that. There's no way I could raise that kind of money. That's the only thing I own is this, quote unquote, $1 billion in this company that's still private.
Yeah. It's wild how absolutely economically illiterate a lot of people on the left are. It is pretty wild.
Yeah.
They have no idea that doing stuff like this guarantees that you'll never have $1 billion industry ever again in California.
Yeah, and it's the engine of the money there in California. It's what makes Silicon Valley so wealthy, is this ability to run these, incubation companies that invest capital, venture capital, and build their angel investors. They build up the companies. They help create massive, massive companies and take over industries. And it's what made California so wealthy. Yep. And yet you're a politician in California and you don't understand that basic economics.
They don't. Or at least they pretend they don't.
Well, they just need the money. They want the money. Money, money, money. Why? So they can build a train to nowhere. A $43 billion boondoggle that hasn't even laid one set of tracks yet.
Yeah. I wonder what Gavin Newsom's net worth is these days.
It's huge. I have no doubt the guy's, very, 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 very wealthy.
Yeah, that seems to be the case with all these blue states with these kinds of politicians. I know the politicians here in Oregon, while we're kind of a tiny little state compared to, economically speaking, many of these other states, our governor always tends to do pretty good for themselves. They tend to make out just fine.
Yep. Well, that's how it goes.
Yeah, seems to.
There's so much money in politics, and it's disgusting. Really, it's the thing that needs to be removed from politics more than anything is the money. And I'm talking about like in-depth audits of you and all your family members for all the time you're in office. You know what I mean? And 5 years thereafter, after you leave. So we want to know every dime you make in office. If you're going to spend an entire career in the House of Representatives and become wealthy beyond anyone's wildest imagination, I want an audit year by year by year, and you have to explain every dollar you made. And it better be legitimate.
Yeah, that would go a long way to making sure that these folks aren't just taking bribes for votes or doing insider trading. But we all know, the Nancy Pelosi tracker was one of the greatest returning asset trackers in the history of trading. I think there's only like three, for that time period, I think there was only like three different indexes that actually beat her returns. And one of those was the inverse Kramer, which is where whatever Jim Cramer says on his show, if you do the opposite, you make money.
Wow. And the thing with her tracker is it was like a monthly update, right? So it wasn't like every day. You didn't get the same day and the minute that she bought. You bought at the end of the month. So if she bought something, April 15th, you could buy it May 1st.
Right.
Right. And if you sold it in December, 1st, you sell it January 1st.
Yeah.
Because you don't find out about it till then.
Right.
And it still out-tracked everything.
Yep. I mean, that's what happens when you have insider information, though.
Yeah. It's shocking. Just kind of shocking that that can happen. So let's move on to another story here really quick. London Marathon went down this weekend, and Kenya's Sebastian Saw, SAWE, became the first person ever to run a marathon under 2 hours with a time of 1:59:30. So first time ever in human history somebody ran a marathon under 2 hours. Now, you're a sports coach. What do you think of that?
I am highly impressed. That is a combination of intense training and the absolute perfect genetics. Like that,
Mhm.
you cannot have that level of athletic performance without having both perfect genetics and the pinnacle of training. You can't. And so,
What is it like? It's like 5 to 6 minutes. I'm just doing some math in my head, like low 5 minutes per mile.
I don't know. It's got to be. Let's see.
Well, if it's
standard marathon is 26 miles.
24.3, I think.
Is it
or something like that.
24.3? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, if it
was just 20 miles, that'd be 10 miles an hour. That'd be 6 minutes per mile if it's just a 20-mile race, right? So add 4 more miles in there, you're going to bring it down into the 5:50, 5.5 minute range, right? Somewhere in there, probably a little over. But yeah, shocking speed.
He was basically sprinting the whole time.
Yeah.
It's impressive the ability of the Kenyans, their genetic ability to process oxygen is just so superior to every other runner on this planet. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they do it every day. I mean, it's the way that they train is pretty incredible. National Geographic, Eva Zubek is a YouTuber who got hired by National Geographic to go around, and she trained with the Kenyans for quite a while. And, ate their food, stayed in their facilities, ran with them. And, I mean, she couldn't run with them, right? She went out and started out on pace with them, and then they were going like 30, 40 miles that day, and she dropped off at about mile number 1, and then, did like a marathon at her kind of pace throughout the day, but came nowhere near to the 40 miles at elevation. And then they would make her run barefoot through some days, like train barefoot.
Yep.
Which, again, you run barefoot, and then all of a sudden you get to London and they put a pair of Nikes on you, brand new state-of-the-art shoes, and you're going to run faster.
Oh yeah, the amount of dig you can get with a running shoe on versus barefoot is pretty phenomenal, actually. And so, yeah, their training, the training that they do, makes them just the Earth's most superior long distance runner, along with those great genetics.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible how when you train. I used to swim, and we would wear these suits that had pockets on them, and they'd drag through the water and made it really hard. And you'd practice with those for 3 or 4 days, and then you take them off before the swim meet, and you get in the water and you feel like you're light as air. You're just flying. But anyway, folks, we've got to take a break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
All right, we're on radio break.
Excellent. Perfect timing. Dog's got to go outside. Go on. So I wonder if the assassin guy is going to actually cooperate with the investigation. I heard that he pretty much shut up after they got him to the hospital.
Well, what's he going to cooperate, right? I mean, he did it. He's guilty as can be.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's. I'm just curious if he has any, because was it Luigi Mangione? Yeah, Mangione. He made a big deal out of his court appearances and big spectacle, and that's why they pretty much hushed him up in the prison. They won't let him talk to anybody or do any interviews or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if this guy's going to try to do the same stuff. They all feel like they have the main character syndrome, like they're the most important person in the story.
Yeah, I see him. It's hard for the left to get behind somebody like him because he did go after a political, target.
Yeah.
He's similar to that guy they caught in Florida at the golf course.
Wobbly says the left media is already building a victim case for him.
Yeah.
Of course they are. Of course they are. That's what they do, because victims have the most status points. Such a weird thing to live in a culture like that, where victimhood gives you status.
Yeah, right.
Got a gorgeous day out here today. It's beautiful. Sun shining, 70 degrees.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was a little rainy here today, windy, kind of like sun was peeking out a few times here and there, but just blah. I'm so used to Southern Arizona that it's just...
that weather that'll spoil you down there, especially in fall and spring.
Yeah. It was just perfect down there, and it's still cold here, but it's gonna flip. It'll flip. It'll be way too hot to be down there in like 2 weeks. I'll be glad.
Very true. This is very true.
Are you all done with the bees then?
Well, yeah.
So what are you moving on to next?
It's like an 8-hour round trip to go down there and back. So yeah. Just doing my summer thing.
Cool.
And enjoying it. I got Blue up here, just sleeping in the back right now, being a good girl.
"30 seconds, guys."
All right.
All right.
Here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. Sunday night edition for April 26, 2026. And with me tonight, we got good old Doc in the house. What's up, Doc?
Not too much. Beautiful skies outside here on the Pacific Northwest coast. Enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah, I made it up to the mountains again for the summer. And I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to spending yet another summer up here at elevation in this beautiful weather that's about to come down the pipeline. You say it's nice there. It's a little chilly here still, but it's coming. And like we were talking about in the break, I got to get out of that desert before it turns into an oven.
Yes. That is the one downside of the desert. The summer is just way too hot.
Yeah, the summer is crazy down there. It's like, I don't know how people do it with literally 120-degree temperatures down there. Like 115 for weeks on end. And I mean, I kind of get it because it does only really happen for a few hours in the afternoon from like 2 to like 5 or 6 that it's actually that hot, And then if you wake up at like 4 in the morning and go outside, even when it's like that, it's still pretty nice. It's like, 90, bearable. But you
No,
got to be up at 4 a.m. to enjoy it.
yeah, no, I am a Four Seasons kind of guy. The desert life was all right. I did it for a little while. I enjoyed my little stay down in Eloy, but no thanks. I need Four Seasons because I need it cold for like 3/4 of the year.
Yeah, I'm about 5 years into the, one season, in the summer,
Yeah, yeah,
where I get a little taste of fall and spring, but not much.
yep,
I'm kind of in that right now, quite frankly,
yep.
a little touch of fall or spring or whatever it is right now. I forget. I think it's spring.
It's easy to forget down there. It is.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, it feels like fall to me because I just went through summer, but
Yep.
hey, whatever. Anyway, let's dive into this map I found this week, which is really fascinating. It talks about gas prices around the world. And, we've got it really good here. I never really realized just how good we have it. I mean, Egypt is $1.73, Libya 9 cents a gallon, Algeria $1.35. I know Venezuela 13 cents, but they're in South America, the one outlier. As we're, across Africa, the prices are pretty cheap for the most part. Malawi at $14.54, South Africa at $5.26, right? You get into South America, Brazil $5.12, Chile $6.46, Mexico $6.14 right now, Canada $5.63, Cuba $4.90. But then you get into Europe. In the UK, $8.11 a gallon is what they pay, right?
You sure
In
it's not a
Ireland,
liter?
no, that's a gallon. Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ireland $8.40. France $8.88, Germany $9.36, and Poland $6.35. You get into Russia $3.36, right? In China it's $5.31. In Hong Kong it's $15.65.
Yikes!
It's wild to see these differences. So the lowest price in the world is Libya at 9 cents, and the highest is Hong Kong. $15.65. Now, the good thing about Hong Kong is it's not very big. Even if you flew all the way across Hong Kong, you're not going to use too many gallons.
That's why everybody drives mopeds and boats down there.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive. Anything that's just going to be driving stuck in traffic all day through there, yikes! Yeah. Just sitting at a stoplight burning money. Every stoplight's like $1, $2.
That's crazy.
But yeah, looking at this stuff, I mean, Europe, pretty much $9 is like about standard through much of Eastern Europe or Western Europe. Spain is the cheapest at $6.87, Portugal $8.53. I was kind of surprised by these numbers. I mean, they're just like all over the map, but it's all political, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
It's all politics. How much do you want to tax it? You can't tell me gas is $5.31 in China and $15.65 in Hong Kong, right? Which is the tiniest market in China.
Yep, and you get that here in the United States. If you look at the difference between, say, Oregon or Washington or California and Oklahoma, Nebraska, or Iowa. You look at the differences between those prices and you're like, how does that happen? It's clearly politics. California wants to destroy the oil industry there for some odd reason. Kind of goes in line with the other stuff that they wanted to destroy things there. And then you get to the place where they need access to fuel on a regular basis to fuel the farms, and it's cheap. And so like it's just, come on now, guys. You don't have to destroy the economy on the West Coast. You don't have to. You can stop.
Yeah. Just a week ago we had to go into California, and the difference between the Arizona side and the California side was like $2 a gallon. You know what I mean? So it was like $4.15 in Arizona, and then literally across the Colorado River, $6.15 a gallon.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, that's just so much more expensive.
Yeah.
That's such a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like 71% or 71 cents of California's gas prices is just tax. Then the rest of it is, of course, your policies on oil manufacturing and gas manufacturing, and then the restrictions on what you can sell, and the restrictions on the cars. And so it compounds everything. But I'm surprised California hasn't gone completely belly up with their industry with these gas prices. Like, how do you run a business with those gas prices?
Oh yeah, and I know you get north of like San Francisco on the coast up there, and it gets crazy. Some of the pricings in those areas, on the way up to Oregon.
Yep. Yeah, the remote areas are pretty rough. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's again, another big part of that is going to become shipping and transportation costs for the gas. Because I've been reading how they're now like buying it in the Bahamas and having to ship it through the Panama Canal to get it up to California because they closed down and ran off every refinery.
Yeah.
So you got no refineries anymore, and you have to import all your gas from the Atlantic Ocean.
That doesn't seem like the most efficient thing to do. It really doesn't.
Green. It's green though, right? It's the most super duper green thing you can do.
Are they sailboats bringing it? Because if they were sailboats, maybe, but I don't think they're sailboats. I don't think you can go.
No, that's not how
sailing
shipping
that
works.
way. Yeah,
Yeah, shipping containers don't work that way.
Yeah. No.
Although I've heard of, it's funny, and every now and then you'll read an article about this revolution in shipping where they're going to start, putting sails on container ships, and it's like, a revolution in shipping. Wow, what a revolution to reinvent a sailboat.
That's like trying to tell me that windmills are a revolution in energy technology. Like, are they? Right? Are they?
Really? You sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, or water wheels, and it's again nothing new under the sun, right?
Exactly.
But I do swear by solar. I've been living off solar for years now, and it's perfect. The investment to get my day-to-day needs met is like next to nothing. The initial investment, it's shocking.
Yeah, no, I think for individual homes, whether mobile like yours is, or out in a nice sunny area of the country, I think it's great for individual homes. I think trying to run your industry off of solar or wind power is kind of just begging for it to fail. But that's me. I don't know. Maybe Elon's right. Maybe solar is the future. It just doesn't seem like it for industry.
Yeah, I mean, when I was back in my cabin, now that I think about it, I was spending maybe, $80, $100 a month on my electric. And what did I run? I ran a refrigerator, a handful of lights, and my computer.
Yeah.
Right? And that was $80 a month. Now I'm running that off of like a $600 investment I made several years ago. You know what I mean? So I've made my money back on that solar investment like 10 times over in just like 5 years or 4 years.
Yeah,
I know. Wow.
It's great for those purposes for individual homes. It's amazing what you can do with a solar panel and reducing your electricity costs. It really is.
Yeah, and I've looked into the wind stuff too. You get these little windmills, and they're loud. If you have like a knoll, you can put it on about an acre away. You can do that, but if you're going to be anywhere near the thing, you don't want it. To supplement when the sun's not out, but it's windy, right? Anyway, we're all out of time for this segment, folks. We're going to wrap up hour 1 right here, but stay tuned. Hour 2 is coming right down the pike after these messages and a word from our sponsors.
All right, we're on radio break.
All right.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth.
Ridiculous.
Oh no, not that guy.
Oh man, I saw Tim. I still watch Tim Cast. I know a lot of people don't watch Tim anymore. He's kind of lost favorability with some on the right. I like to watch him strictly for news. Like I like his news segments, but he's been doing these funny segments lately where he's talking about the super Earth, which is where the ice wall isn't because the Earth is flat. It's because there's a much bigger Earth the outside of it. He's been talking about.
Oh boy.
He's been talking about that for the last. Yeah, he's been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, and he's just keeps going with it. Like, and you know he's just trolling and having a good time with it, and it really makes some people angry when other people have fun. It's makes me
Willie's talked
But
about the super.
there are real people out there that believe in that too, and Willie is one of them. All right. It's like, no, there's like, the world isn't just as big as what we see it, and the stuff from satellites. No, that's made in Hollywood. All right. Here we go back to Kubrick. All right. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, Hollow Earth. That's what I believe in. But anyways. Where'd everybody go?
Oh, sorry. The kids just came home.
Oh, we're going to have to switch over rooms here in just a minute. But
Right. I'll see you guys over there.
Did you see Nona, the puppy?
No.
I had her in my lap there for a little bit while we were on. Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna hang up and then we'll get going, and I'll bring Willie in hopefully. So stay tuned for hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show Sunday edition. Do 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 do.
There we go.
Here we are.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the stream.
Yes.
Oh. I'll tell you that crisp mountain air, though, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, very true. Very true. That is the one thing I miss about living in Idaho. The air quality was amazing, especially in the winter. Except for like 3 months during potato harvesting season. Then the air was just terrible for everyone.
Why? What do they do? Burn the fields or something?
Oh, when they do the potato harvesting, it's like 3 to 6 weeks of just constantly digging up fields, and so it's just kicking dust up in the air, and you get these big dust clouds that float with the wind. Oh, there's the puppy.
Yeah, you see her? Yeah.
There's a puppy.
Say hi, Nona. Winona. We just call her Nona. Oh, your ears are so looking tasty. I'm going to eat them right up.
How old is she, Mark?
She's about 2.5 months now.
Yeah.
Tops.
Wow.
She's a little pet. Yeah.
Hi.
Uh-oh, look out.
Uh-oh.
No. Hey, watch your wallets, everybody.
Hi.
We
put mine under
policy. You can't just blurt out like that. If you got to raise your hand, there's a feature in there that lets you raise your hand.
No,
Okay.
no, man.
You hog
couldn't
the mic. Hog the
I-
mic is what you do.
I couldn't find the link to get in here, man. Y'all got me blackballed. I hacked in anyway. Come on.
That's just 4 clicks on the CB get you right in every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10-4. I Doc 69 right there. Hey, Doc 69 been AWOL, man. Huh?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. Uh-oh.
I Doc 6. I need some money, man.
I told you.
There it
Watch
is.
your
There
wallet.
it is.
Watch your wallet.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good, good.
You
Doing good,
pretty
man. Doing good. Good to have you back.
Did you see the puppy too, Willie? When you were coming in?
Yeah, man. Hey, I seen your dog, man.
Motivation got a puppy too.
Everybody need a puppy.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, mine's asleep on his heating pad right now.
I can't believe how big she's got just in the little time that she's been here.
Yeah, she had big old paws. She's gonna be a big one.
Yeah. She's not going to be as big as Zeus, I don't think. She's going to be stockier and wider, though, I think.
Yeah,
Well, at least that's
females tend to be.
At least that's what they said the mom was like. Is like. So. But she was the little one out of the group.
She was the runt.
Yeah.
I mean, she's probably the most playful too.
No.
Usually,
she's,
anyway.
She's the one that always has her little blue eyes looking up at you. Come on and pet me.
Oh yeah, that's trouble right there. Watch
Yeah.
out.
I'm not in trouble. Look at my eyes. You know? I'm not in trouble.
Yep.
I'm not trying to hypnotize you with my eyes. See, I'm a good girl.
You want to share that bacon with me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Zeus will be out here in a few minutes.
Hey, ain't y'all got a show to do?
What show?
What are you talking about, Willie? You're crazy.
Yeah, what do you got, drugs?
No, yeah. we're actually taking the night off,
Y'all got all
But we're
that
just
dead
hanging
air
out.
going on, man.
right?
It don't make for good radio.
What?
That's why you're here. Fill in the
Yeah, you got to
spaces.
fill in the gaps, Willie.
Yeah, no, man. Hey, all I got is questions, man. It's been a crazy week in news, man. I got questions. I got things I want to know.
Oh, earlier, let's see here. Let's see. What was it? What was it, Wobbly? The tax over there on the gas, it was like $1.80 or $1.60 per gallon. He was putting in there for us. And
That's crazy.
I forgot, yeah.
Of course. Here, I've got it over it. Just take this. I don't want it.
Oh, it's $1.80 tax. For
I'm
gasoline.
eating marshmallows, man. Hey, but we ain't gonna call them marshmallows. We're gonna call them swamp mellows. You know, like a swamp is like a marsh. Except these are
Did you heat them up?
we're gonna advertise them as swamp mellows.
Did you heat them up?
That's terrible.
No, man, we're eating them raw.
Oh man, you got to heat them up and then put them between graham crackers with a little bit of chocolate in there. That makes
At
them
least
good.
set it
We're
on
under 30
fire.
seconds, by the way, folks.
30 seconds.
Foxy and Crystal Mays in the kick chat. Welcome in, welcome in.
Crystal Maze.
Crystal Mays. Aw.
Crystal Maze. Hello,
Yeah.
Crystal Maze.
Look out, cats, dogs, and kids. Here comes your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're back live for the second hour right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. Sunday night edition for April 26, 2026. And with us tonight, if you're any fan of the show, you know Wednesday night, second hour, we always bring on Doc. How you doing, Doc?
Doing well. Hanging out with the doggos right now and enjoying the conversation as always.
And for the next segment, I want to break down. You said you've been watching a lot of the spring football. So, what's going on there? Which teams are the ones to watch? How's the season going so far? And what do you expect?
Well, see, what I fully expect is Willie to interrupt me here in a moment because I just saw he entered the chat. But you got the Dallas Renegades; they're doing pretty well. How you doing, Willie?
Hi, I see what y'all doing there. Hey, that's getting old though, man. Hey, that's old news. Let's talk about football. Nobody wants to hear nothing about no football, man. Hey, this here's Willie. How y'all doing tonight? Come on.
Doing good, Willie. Doing good. You?
Doing great, Willie.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, life is good. I'm telling you. Look at here. Hey, for all y'all out there in Radio Land don't know, hey, my name is Willie Lee. I run Willie's Worm Farm down in Waldo, Florida, and Willie's Cricket Emporium up in Sandy Run, South Carolina. I sell worm hot dogs and pea jugs too. hey, look out here. Hey, I got news, man. Hey, y'all talk about the news, but hey, I got questions. Here's what I want to know. Hey, I was looking at something, man. Hey, did you know the United States, our gas is like $3, $4, $5 a gallon, $6 a gallon in places, man. Hey,
yes.
And the United States is broke, but we are giving money. I looked this up. We're giving money to the United Arab Emirates, man. Hey, these guys that run these countries, they multi-billionaires, man. They go zillionaires over there. Hey, they got more money than they'll ever spend in their lifetime. And then they want a bailout from the United States of America. Like I'm gonna write each and every one of y'all, I'm gonna write y'all a check. I ain't got no money. But I'm gonna give y'all some money anyway. United States is broke and we're turning around giving United Arab Emirates money. That's my main question. Is how in the world did y'all see that on the news? Come on.
I did see that, Willie, and I think I think that's because Trump went and shut the strait, so they can't sell their oil. I mean, I'm not saying we should give it to them. I'm just saying I think that's why.
Yeah, but hey, they already rich, man. They already rich. Hey, I seen where China.
Valid.
Yeah, hey, China come through there. They had two great big old oil tankers, man, and they had them a fleet. Their naval fleet was escorting these oil tankers down there through that strait. The United States said, "Hey, y'all need to stop," and China said, "We ain't gonna do it." And the United States said, "All right, y'all go ahead about your business."
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, hey, it was kind of funny, man. Hey, but I'm guaranteeing y'all something, man. Hey, the United States, first off, I figure they ain't got no business over there. But all of this has got to be some kind of tactic or some kind of ploy or something or another to find out who's cheating who and who's being true and who don't even care anymore. Makes you wonder who's doing right to someone tonight and who's
Is this a promo for your new album?
Yeah, no, man. How's good old song. What I'm saying, hey, what I'm saying is he trying to find out who's on board and who ain't on board, man. We got so-called friends around the world. We pouring all this money into NATO and the United Nations, man. Hey, but these people ain't got our backs, man. It's like, you know what?
Hey, I'm okay with cutting NATO off. Cut NATO off. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, even Trucker Carlton, man, I was listening to Trucker Carlton, and he was talking about he regrets voting for Donald Trump, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know what, Donald Trump is a good man, but somebody is pulling his strings, man. Hey, but I saw an article, and the article said that Donald Trump has made 55,654 false statements during his presidency. That's 98 lies per
That's like not
day.
even close to Bill Clinton numbers. That's not even close to Bill Clinton numbers.
Yeah,
right? Yep. Yeah, but
he's trying to catch up with Obama.
Yeah, no, hey, I researcherized it, man. That ain't true. That's a lie. The fact of the matter is he didn't tell no 55,000 lies, man. He only told 30,573. According
Did you
to the
count them
Washington
all, Willie?
Post. Yeah, no, hey, I looked at every last one of. I ain't got nothing but time on my hands. Come
This is
on,
true. That is true.
I got
The
nothing but
Washington
time.
Post. Huh?
Hey, hey, but
That's the
hey,
one they call the
y'all.
Washington Compost.
Yeah, Washington Compost. Yeah, no, no. Hey, it ain't just the Washington Post, man. There are all kind of other news outlets and stuff out there, man. Hey,
Sure, New York Times. I can show you a bunch of them that'll say anything you want to hear.
yeah, no, no, man. Hey,
And they'll
I
say it
get
if you pay enough. They'll
no.
say it
Hey,
for you.
I get most of my. Hey, the National Enquirer, man. Oh, man,
Best
you
news
want the
source
real
on the
news?
planet.
Yeah, I tell you, hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, the National Enquirer, that's where you want to go, man. If you want the real news, they'll tell you all about the aliens, what's going on, and Bigfoot,
Hmm.
and the stink monsters and stuff like that. You ain't never heard of a stink monster? Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Hey, and this is where you come in, Doc 69. Look at him.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah, no, no. Hey, they got this flower, man. Hey, in this flower, it only blooms like once every few years or so, man. Hey, and what it's got, and it's got, it's called Titan arums, man, also known as corpse flowers, and they're found in the jungles of Sumatra. Hey, they produce the world's largest floral structures,
And
man.
they smell
Hey,
like rotten meat, don't they?
yeah, they did. That's why they call them the corpse flower, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, hey, but these things also, what they can be, what you can do is you can put them in meat. Hey, Bill Gates is doing all this substitute meat stuff nowadays. Hey, and that's something else I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Hey, they got something just about every last bit of your meat that you get down there. I ain't gonna mention no store names or nothing, man. Hey, cause I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But it's culture cultivated. If your meat has got culture cultivated on it, man. Hey, don't buy it. I'm telling you,
Because
don't
they grew
buy.
it in a lab.
Yeah,
That's
hey,
what that
that's
means, folks.
yeah,
That's what that
yeah,
means.
exactly, man. And that's about hey everything. The grocery stores nowadays, man. If you walk into them, hey, and I was going to tell you something else about that flour, but I want to get on to something else, man. Toxic waste grounds, grocery stores. That's what they are, man. They're all, every last bit of them, they're toxic waste grounds, is what it boils down to. It's all chemicals and everything else. So you can't even hardly get any real food anymore, man. Come on.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out for it. Now, is Bill Gates trying to take that flour and put it into meat so the meat smells more like meat? The
Yeah,
fake
yeah.
meat? Is that
That
what he's
yeah,
doing?
that's what it boils down to. No, it makes the meat more real. It's like he can inject it and it makes
That's
the meat.
creepy.
Yeah, hey, yeah, you can inject it, and it makes them. It gives them the meat a certain what you call texture, man.
I'll stick
It
with
gives
my
it a
worm hot dogs. I
yeah,
like the
no,
worm
hey,
hot dogs.
yeah, it gives it a meaty texture, man. It's what it boils down to. Come on,
A
Yeah, you
meaty
can't get that
texture.
meaty texture out of worms.
yeah,
No, but they are not nearly as delicious. I'm telling you, John. Those worm hot dogs are delicious.
hey,
Mm.
Delicious.
hey, they are, man. I'm telling you. Hey, and hey, did y'all hear about that load of bees, man? Oh, man, and it's funny, but it ain't funny. Yeah, but hey, there was a tractor
It's
trailer. It
funny, honey.
overturned.
What?
What?
What? Funny, honey? What?
Yeah, no, no. Hey, I was going to tell you about this tractor trailer. It turned over up in Tennessee, man. Ha, hey, man, the bees all over the place. They was heading out to Arizona with them bees, and the whole tractor trailer it turned over, man. Hey, there was bees everywhere up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hey, travelers in East Tennessee interstate, they were forced to brake for workers and drones. Hey, I tell you, man. Hey, they were trying to. They were
Are
trying
you
to.
making a bee joke right now? Is that what you're doing?
They had
Well, at least he
drones
didn't
trying
say
to
it was a
capture
honey
drones.
pot.
Not, I know the swarm, man. They had shut down the exit up on I-40 in Knoxville, man. Hey, there were bees all over the place. Hey, far as I know, they still working on bees, man. Come on. But hey, we got bees going on. Hey, out there in Arizona, man. Hey, we got a bunch of bees. Bees, I'm telling you, man. It's like a regular bee mafia that we got going on out there. Hey, people's trying to steal our bees out there in Arizona. Hey, there's a lot of money being made in bees. But hey, here's something else I want to know about Donald Trump. Hey, did y'all hear that Donald Trump, he thinks that Greece is a person and not a country? he, he said, I think Greece is doing a real good job. He seems like a really great guy. I'm just sitting there wondering about, hey, did y'all see that?
No,
I'm
I
sure
didn't
he
see
knows
that.
the difference between Greece and whatever
No,
you're talking about. I'm
no,
sure.
no, he don't, man. Hey, this happened. This
You
happened
think
today,
Donald
man.
Trump doesn't know what Greece is?
He don't, man. He said Greece is a really great guy. I yeah, this is a he was holding a healthcare affordability
Maybe he was talking about the guy from the movie Grease, John Travolta. Maybe he was talking about Travolta.
Yeah, man, I don't know, but he was saying Greece was a really great guy. That was a speech that he gave at the healthcare affordability event at the White House, man. Oh, look at him. And all this stuff going on in the world, man. Hey, y'all told about that? That they had them a scam going on. They decided this is funny. I can't help myself. Hey, they dressed up in a bear suit, man. Hey, they dressed up in a bear suit, and then they got it on video. They made sure it got on video where the bear would crawl into the car. They was in a bear suit, and they tore the car all up inside of it, and then tried to say that it was a bear.
That sounds. Was that an insurance scam that they were trying to
Yeah,
run?
yeah, man. Hey, the backstory, man. Hey, three people, they tried to claim insurance for damage to a luxury car, claiming that a bear had torn up the interior. They even provided video footage of the attack. The problem, detectives and anybody who's ever seen a bear, they noticed the bear had remarkably human joints and was clearly a person in a costume. Ah,
How much did they pay you to do that, Willie?
yeah, no, hey, don't toll it. Hey, they trying to act like it was them that done it, but no, this happened out in California, man. Hey, they got sentenced to insurance fraud, proving that if you're going to frame a wild animal for property damage, you should probably hire a better tailor.
Well, I mean, you could have just went and got a real bear. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
man.
just leave a bunch of peanut butter in the back of your car, you know?
Yeah,
There
there you go, man. Hey, y'all remember that movie? What was it, Tommy Boy, where they picked up a deer and put it in the back of the car? They thought the deer was dead, and it woke up. Oh man,
that's exactly. You could do it with a real animal. They should have went with a real animal.
yeah, but you'd have to figure out all the logistics of it and all that other kind of stuff, man. Like how to sedate him or whatever, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd have to sedate it and then have it wake up, man.
I'll tell you, you go up to Yosemite, and if you leave any food in your car, the bears will get to it. They'll break in your car.
That's what I'm saying. You just drive the car up to Yosemite, put some lunch meat in the back seat, and walk away.
Yeah, if you leave it there for a couple of days, you're almost guaranteed. They're going to know it's in there.
Yeah.
A bunch of food, peanut butter, you name it back there.
Hey, y'all remember Yosemite Sam?
I do.
Sure.
Yeah, hey, when I was little, hey, this ain't no joke. I used to think his name was Yosemite. That's a true story. I thought his name was Yosemite Sam.
Well, I mean, you can smite people, so understandable. I mean, not everybody's that easily confused, but it's okay.
I'm trying to figure. Hey, I read up somewhere too, man, where the world's economy is $400 trillion, man. Hey, and then I got a hold of a chart, and it's talking about world GDP and all this other kind of stuff, man. Gross domestic production or something, man.
GDP, gross domestic product.
Yeah. Hey, the United States is $25.3 trillion, and China is 19.91. 19.9. And it's got all these other countries, man. What their GDP is, man. Hey, and it says it's $100 trillion world economy. Hey, and what I want to know is where the other 300 trillion went to, man. Because this time last year it was 400 trillion. Now all of a sudden all this money,
aliens took it. The aliens took it.
Hey, that's what. No, hey, that's what happened for real, though, man. Hey, and that's what happens like every few years, man, like every 10 or 20 years. Hey, they come in from on spaceships, man. Hey, this ain't no lie. If you don't believe me, just ask me, man. I'll tell you. Hey, they come down on spaceships and they gather up all the gold and they take it back to their planet. Yeah, no, hey, and they take it back to their. Yeah, man.
Yep, that's the truth.
Yeah,
They
no,
come right
hey,
down with their spaceships and they suck up
yeah,
the gold, take it up.
yeah, hey, yeah, man. Hey, that what they call the Anunnaki, man. They've been doing this for millions of years on the planet. Hey, you think humans only been on the Earth for 5,000-10,000 years or a million? No, hey, man, they've been races. There's all kind of races that are around us, man, outside of the ice wall. Hey, I've been researcherizing it, man. Hey, we ain't alone on this planet.
You got Mu and you got Atlantis.
Yeah, man.
Lemuria.
Yeah, look at how, man, you can get together and write a book, man. Hey, because all that's true. Oh, look at here.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, they got a gate that goes through the ice wall where you can see it all, man. I'm telling you. Hey, but you're getting me sidetracked, man. No,
Well,
man. Hey,
you're always talking about flat Earth in the last couple seconds. If you want to do it now, we got a couple minutes before we got to go to break.
Yeah, no, the Earth ain't flat though, man. And that's what Doc 69 was trying to tell you, man. If you pay attention, son, come on. Hey,
I heard him. I heard him. We just saw Artemis, man. We just saw those millions of photos they took.
Hey, there's outside lands, man. It's like the Earth is not as big of a ball as you think it is. The Earth is like probably 55,000 gazillion million times bigger. Here's what I want to know. I got more questions than answers, man. Hey, we had these astronauts. They went up into outer space. Look at here. They sent us one picture back. We got one out of all the billions of dollars.
No. The one girl took a photo, or the one guy took a photo with his cell phone camera too. There was two photos.
Oh, come on. There were thousands of photos.
They give us one picture. It's supposed to be Africa. It looked like a shit stain on a ball. I'm sorry, can I say that? Y'all have to edit that out. I'm sorry. It looked like a poop stain on a ball. What it looked like. Crazy, man. Hey,
that's because they used a pinhole camera.
I'm telling you.
1982.
Now, hey, I don't know what they done, man, but we got one picture of the Earth, and we got a whole bunch of fake videos and stuff of them in this so-called space capsule, man. Hey, but no, you get me sidetracked. I was going to tell you, man, about how the Anunnaki, they come down, and what they doing is they gathering up all the gold. So our planet, it was worth $400 trillion, and now it's only worth $100 trillion because aliens, man, hey, they took all the gold. I'm telling you, man, hey, and what they do is they take it and they refine it back. I've been looking at it, man. I've been studying up on it, and they take the gold and they refine it. And what they need is they use the gold for their atmosphere on their home planet, man. Hey, and that's what they need the gold for. And they've been doing this, and that's all. Hey, I'm telling you, man, that's all we are is gold slaves.
We're gold miners. Man. Yep, hey, gold miners.
That's what it boiled down to, man. Hey, you're a gold slave. I'm a gold slave. Hey, but I ain't digging no gold, man. Hey, if I find any gold, they ain't getting it. I'm guaranteeing you that, man.
I wonder if they're angry about us putting it in our computers.
Yeah, I'll get it doggone, man. I don't know, man. Hey, but they all kind of crazy stuff that goes on in this world. Hey, it makes you wonder. Hey, I was looking at something else, man. Hey, did you know? Hey, this here's a did you know, man. Hey, don't you interrupt me, John Galt. I know what you're doing.
I'm just telling you, you got 30 seconds left. That's all. You got 25, 24,
yeah, you're
23.
You're going to tell me, you're going to tell me I got 30 seconds left, and you're going to take up all the time that I got, man, because in that 30 seconds time, man, I can tell you a whole bunch of... No, hey,
you're the one doing it.
No, I can tell you a whole bunch of stuff in that 30 seconds.
I wanted you to wrap up your point, but you wasted your time defending. I don't know what you did. Man. Anyway, folks, that's enough of Willie tonight. We've got to go to break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, Flat Earth, man. Hey, come on.
You still got it.
Yes.
You're a nut. Oh, I love it. I wasn't expecting you to talk about the Anunnaki tonight, dear Willie. I'm like, oh, boy.
Because the aliens took our gold, man.
Yeah, they've been taking it
Telling
for a
you.
long time.
Yeah,
Evil.
it's all true, man.
Yeah.
Think
Ancient
about the
aliens
bottom
told
of the
me so.
Mariana Trench, right? The lowest place on the planet.
Hey,
How much
hey,
gold
hey,
there must be down there?
hey, look at him.
I
Hey,
imagine
off,
quite a bit, actually.
hey, off topic. Hey, did you know, man? Statues of people on horses, man. A statue of a horse with both legs rising up in the air
They died in
means that the
combat.
statue, huh?
That means they died in combat on the horse.
Yeah. How'd you know that, man?
30 seconds. No, I'm
Does it-
kidding.
No, hey, that's true. I didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, you smart, man. I'm telling you, I thought you dumb, but you smart. Ha!
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think
If
you
they have
dumb.
one leg
dumb,
up,
but-
they died in combat. If they're all four legs are on the ground,
Hold on now. Let me
If you
see.
have a flagpole,
horse
if you have a flagpole, Willie,
signify.
and at the
Hold
very
on, man,
top
we
of
ain't
that
talking about
flagpole, come
flagpole.
on now, I
Hold
want you
on
to
a minute,
answer this
Mark,
one.
Mark, we got to get this wrapped up, man. Hold on about your flagpole, man. Hey, I'm looking at whatever John just said.
Quit
Tell
raising
me
your
about one leg
flagpole.
again, John.
one leg up means they died in combat, but not on a horse.
Signifies the rider died in injuries received in a war.
Okay, well,
And-
yeah.
And then, and then a horse standing on four legs.
Means the guy just died, but he had a horse.
Yeah, a natural causes. How'd you know that, man?
Well, that's the way they make statues.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how'd you know that?
Because I live on this earth and I've been around a while.
I tell you what, I'd hate to play Trivial Pursuit against you. Hey, Mark.
Yo. What's up? Where'd he go? Y'all got quiet.
You go ahead and tell us about your flagpoles, man.
Oh, yeah, that flagpole thing. Hey, if you have a flagpole, and at the very top, there's a round ball up there, right? Is the ball hollow, or is it solid? And if it's hollow, what's inside it? You can tell us that next week.
Yeah. First thing come to mind was your mama. That ain't funny though. Hey, that'd be a good idea though, man, for cremation purposes, man. You could have people's ashes put at the top of a flagpole in a little ball, man. Come on.
Yeah.
No?
Oh man, what keeps happening? We keep losing the... Who keeps putting me
You're
on
going to
hold?
bring that up and not explain to us what that means?
Somebody need to put you on hold.
Someone keeps putting us on hold. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Someone was getting a
hey.
call, and it puts us on hold.
Hey, Big Bird costume. Did you know that the guy inside of the Big Bird costume, he uses his right hand to operate the eyeballs? Hey,
Yes,
his,
yes, I did.
his left hand operates the right and the left hand.
Oh wow!
Yep.
He's got the script taped inside of his costume, and there's a wire that runs from his left hand to his right hand. See, that's the kind of stuff I look at, man.
30 seconds this time
Ow.
for sure.
I wish I had a life. Hey, when I grow up, I want to be just like y'all, man. Come on.
Like Big Bird?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, man. I appreciate you. We'll talk to y'all
Well,
later.
you know,
Hey, Will,
Willie,
thanks.
you know, you might
Have a
not be
good one,
Big
Willie.
Bird, but you could be Turd Bird. Anyways, here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're back live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Sunday night edition for April 26, 2026. Doc, man, Willie's crazy, right?
He is, but he's dead on about the Anunnaki. They're stealing our
Crazy
gold.
like a fox sometimes.
It's true. It's true.
He read just enough of Alex Jones' website to figure some things out.
Oh, speaking
Not
of
sure.
Alex Jones, did you hear what happened to InfoWars finally?
Oh, with the Onion?
Yeah.
What's the verdict there?
Onion is now the sole owner of Infowars.com, and I believe they do also take over some of the building as well. But that's all right. Alex just launched his Real Alex Jones website, or Alex Jones Live, or whatever it is. He's not going to miss a beat. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
but
Susan Planet. It's been there forever.
Yeah, it's wild that really all they got was a domain name.
They got the domain name, which
Yeah.
none of the archives, none of that stuff, just the domain name.
As far as I understand it, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, it's interesting to see what happens to that. They went after Alex. I was listening to him the other day, and he's like, what they did to him, it's just unprecedented. It's cruel and unusual punishment to a degree, right?
Yeah.
He's made some statements about the Sandy Hook shooting that were wrong and misplaced, but at the time he was kind of confident in them, and no one got hurt. No one. It's and they took away his everything. They got him for $1 billion or something.
Well, one of the settlements. I mean, he had multiple court cases going at the same time. He didn't get a fair trial. He didn't get to present evidence. There was all kinds of crazy things that happened within that experience, and yeah, they basically took everything that he had ever worked his life for, pretty much.
Yeah, well, again, his reputation and his name, his persona, he's still on set. You can't take that away from him. So he'll have a future. I mean, Tim Cass loves him on his show.
Yeah. Well, and I think Alex is he's a character, but at the end of the day, he's a guy who has an absolute love for what he does, and he'll be doing it to the day he dies, I'm sure, till his voice no longer works. You just give him a cell phone and set a time of day, and he'll run for 3 hours. So I think he'll be fine. But it is kind of wild that the legal system can be weaponized in such a way that you can't do anything about it. That's the real scary part. Because if they can take down Alex and take all that money from him, what can they do to a normal person on the street?
Yeah, and he wasn't the one to accumulate, massive amounts of friends along the way, or allies per se.
Right.
He's not very well liked in his industry for whatever reasons. I mean, you can speculate all, it is what it is, but he's been out there in front of so many bullets that he's really caused a lot of commotion through the years, so to say. Yeah. And tries to pull the rug out from a lot of different things that are happening in this government. And he's been right on a lot of them. Let's not beat around the bush on that one. He's been dead right on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's why they hate him so much, because he tells the truth, and he gets information, and what he thinks is the truth, I should say, and he puts it out there and puts it all out there for everybody, and he doesn't hide it. He doesn't put it behind a paywall. He doesn't try to put a narrative spin on it. He just tells what he knows, and a lot of times that interferes with the plans of the people in charge, and they don't like that too much.
Yep. And so they go after him with everything they've got, and that's what it looks like. They tried to do it to Trump. They try to do it to anybody they can that gets in their way. Yep. And it's just politics, man. It's just how the machine works.
Unfortunately, yeah, the legal system has been turned into a weaponized machine against anybody who may try to resist it or change it in a way it doesn't like. It's a sad state of affairs in the legal system in many states. Yeah, and America's going down this road that it really hasn't done before. I don't think it's ever been quite this bad in the country where they're just using politics to just take people down, using the justice system as a weapon. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like it hasn't happened ever in the past, and but to the scale that we're seeing it today. I mean, we talk a lot about Europe and what's going on in, say, the UK or London. I'm sorry, England in particular, and they're just weaponizing on the largest scale ever any criticism of them performing, in essence, what's the largest social experiment in world history. No country has ever tried to absorb this many people of different cultures.
ever.
Yeah.
Compared to what Europe is doing right now. It's unprecedented in all of history. It's an invasion, but they're allowing it and encouraging it to happen. So it's not really an invasion. It's just a come, colonize us. We want to be colonized. We colonized you. Now it's your turn to get us back. We shouldn't exist as a country anymore. So just come on over here and completely flip England into something it was never, ever in the past.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Have
and
fun with it.
well, we were headed right in that direction. I mean, it's one of those things that if we allow the legal system to continue down this path in this country, I mean, look at how many people in Canada are constantly berated by the government for various reasons. It's all kinds of different things up there, whether your farm's doing the wrong thing, or you own the wrong gun, or you don't have your vax card up to date, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff is right on our border, and it's happening there. And then you have New York State and California doing their wild things that they do legally. And so you got to wonder, like, I understand people are upset with the Republicans. I do, but I can't imagine that we would want to put these people back in charge. The people that tried to bring that Europe to our property, to our lands. I can't imagine we'd want to put those people in charge.
Yeah, yet here we are.
Yeah.
Reform UK, they talk about it like it's the most radical thing in the world, and it's not. Nigel Farage is a moderate all day long.
Yeah.
And they're becoming one of the largest parties over there, but I mean, they're not going to turn the ships back. They're not going to deport anybody. They're just going to try to manage what's happening, maybe slightly better than the Liberal Party did, but that's it. They got rid of the Conservatives over there. That party is now dead. Reform has taken its place, and yet they're not any different. They're not going to do one thing different. It's shocking.
Well, fortunately enough, I think the Restore UK may actually push its way into the zeitgeist because of that very thing, with Nigel Farage and all the weirdness going on at the top level of reform, especially kind of bowing to the idea of trying to assimilate all these people. That's just absurd. So reform may actually end up being the conservative, or be the Liberal Party, and the Conservative Party may end up being Restore. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. But here, we already know that both parties are intertwined at the top levels in a way that it's hard to separate. Like, we actually, here in this country, they're not as representative of the individuals who vote for them as, say, those parties in England are. Here, we have like 5 or 6 different parties within the two parties. And so it's a little harder for us to kind of judge, I think. We can't just say, oh, yeah, reform's going to do it, or, oh, yeah, restore's going to do it. We can't do that. We actually have to judge each individual candidate on their own merits. And it's a tough task for anybody who has a job and kids.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, we've got, like, the SAVE Act is an 80-20 issue. Right. 80% of the public wants, voter ID. And they can't even pass it when Republicans have both, houses of Congress and have the White House. They could pass it right now if they wanted to, but they don't have the cojones to put something through that 80% of the people want. So I think like 60% of Democrats want that.
Yeah, I think it was like 63 or 64% of Democrats want the SAVE Act to pass, because it's just makes sense. Anybody with any kind of honesty about election integrity knows that having your ID and voting the day of, with eliminating mail-in voting, that anybody who knows what's going on knows that that's the way to fix the issues with the elections that we've had over the last 20 years.
Absolutely. And it's just pure common sense. You can't do anything without an ID, Heck, I went into a gas station the other day. I just wanted to buy a can of beer, one can of beer, because I've been working all day. It was hot, and he wouldn't sell it to me because I didn't have my ID on me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got gray hair. I've got the whole. There's no way I'm under 21.
But if you try to show your ID to vote in California, they will put you in jail or write you a fine. I can't remember which it is.
But people understand. You like to go to a movie, to do anything, to bank. To go to the bank, of course you have to have ID.
Yep.
It's just common sense. But to vote, it's going to be called racist to do that. But yet, at the bank, it's not racism. What's more important on a day-to-day basis, right?
It's such an odd thing, which goes to show that they want this to not pass so that they can continue rigging elections. I mean, it's quite clear at this point that both sides do a fair bit of rigging in their elections. Republicans more so at the local level and in the primaries, but the Democrats, we've seen it in Virginia, for example, with their ballot measure. 75% of the mail-in ballots went for the measure. Come on. Come on. Every other ballot batch with style of voting, they separated them all. They were all within 50 to 40% ranges, right?
Yeah.
But not the mail-in. The mail-in were 75%.
And this came in like 3 tranches after most of the rest of the state had already like set their numbers. Right. So then they introduced 3 different tranches that were just like what we saw with Biden, the F chart, straight up to victory. You're losing, and then boom, straight up to victory. And then, so in other words, they waited till everyone else got their numbers in, so they knew how many numbers they needed to win it by just enough,
And which is what they use it. That's what they use mail-in voting for. They do it here in Oregon all the time.
Yeah. And it's a scam. I mean, you see it, man. If you're in any of these places that have that, you just see these ballots lying around everywhere. They're in apartment complexes. They're just piles of them.
There was just an incident up here in Washington State where they found a pile of 300 ballots that were for a special election just dumped behind a dumpster.
Yeah. So, this stuff needs to come to an end. And again, the media is so far to the left. It's just ridiculous. They won't admit anything. And I got a great example here from CNN just today talking about the shooting at the White House Correspondents Association dinner, which, again, by the way, is really perfect exhibit A for why we need a ballroom at the White House. This would, without a doubt, the White House Correspondents Association would have their ball at the ballroom at the White House, under a much, much better security system than some hotel. But anyway, check this clip out from CNN.
This guy's obviously another of these left-wing lunatics who's come to kill the president. 3 assassination attempts. The president now. Charlie is dead. You have people on the left lionizing Luigi Mangione. Well, there's a bar in Wisconsin. You have polling showing a tolerance political violence on the left, and I heard Hakeem Jeffries say this week it's maximum warfare all the time.
We are in an era of maximum warfare. Everywhere, all the time.
We have a violent streak on the left and a rhetoric problem on the left, and it must be acknowledged
today. When I was at the Department of Justice, what we found is after the 2020 election, there was a significant rise of threats to all elected leaders, state legislators, some who were killed, to our president, Joe Biden at the time, Barack Obama, someone tried to go into his residence. This is a problem. Not hold on.
How many assassinations?
There are several assassination attempts to other presidents that were not successful. I agree. It should be investigated about why they continue. What are the
discount?
And the Democratic just quickly, the Speaker of the House of Minnesota, a Democrat, lost her life to political violence this past summer. This is not solely a problem on the left. It is a problem across the board. It is a rising crisis. It is a rising crisis in the
Stop generalizing the left. And stop generalizing the left as the entire left.
Campaigning with Hassan.
Listen to me.
Yeah, Hassan Piker. On and on and on, right? I mean, is that disgusting? And he was going to talk about that bar in Wisconsin that was, it offers free drinks to anyone for the day, free beer for everybody all day if Donald Trump gets shot.
Yeah.
If he gets assassinated, everyone drinks free.
Yeah, they like to pretend like there's this both sidesism or something, and the fact of the matter is it's just not true. As we learned recently, the SPLC was funding most of the quote-unquote extreme right wing, so they weren't even committing violence. They were just doing stupid stuff. But the reality is that there are left-wing radicals in this country that believe political violence, including assassination of the president, is a legitimate way to get power. And so, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to listen to a bunch of clucking hens on CNN try to tell me different. I see it every summer out my door here in Portland.
Yeah, and the SPLC, they have these hate maps, you know, and hate targets and people who are hate mongers. And, you know, they had Charlie Kirk right at the top of that list, and he gets killed.
Exactly. It's a target list. That's what that is.
It's a target list. Exactly. The hate map. It's disgusting. And, you know, a lot of these people will point to the SPLC and say, well, that's my source right there. Look, they pointed out that so-and-so is part of this hate group, so I'm going to run with it. You know, the Proud Boys got on that list precisely because of the SPLC. What were the Proud Boys actually doing? Trying to protect protesters who were getting crushed by Antifa. You know, mom and pop little protests that would go out in Portland, especially, backyard, and, you know, go for a prayer group, whatever, in the park, and Antifa would come and try to bludgeon their skulls. So eventually the Proud Boys stepped up and said, hey, we're just going to watch guard over these guys and not let Antifa come and bully them. And for that, they were demonized, while everybody on CNN completely, defended Antifa, who was out there being the aggressor. If Antifa didn't show up, the Proud Boys wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But you're from Portland. Tell us.
No, it's true. There's been street fights. There's been shooting matches. There's been conflict. Like, there was a prayer at an empty mall, like at this old mall. It was closed down in the parking lot. The Proud Boys were hired as security for this prayer event. The Antifa folks drove a van into the Proud Boys defensive line. It ended up flipping over, and there was a scuffle and a gunfire exchange. I mean, this is basically Civil War type stuff happening on the street level here in Portland. And this was when it was at its peak during the riot season that we had there after COVID. But I mean, you can't really understand how bad it is until you deal with it like we did here in Portland. Like, if you see it on the news, it doesn't really comprehend that went on for 100 nights. Battles between the cops and these rioters. These people made weapons, bombs, used guns. They killed Trump voters. Like, these are the kind of people that CNN's defending.
Yeah. Because they're the henchmen. They're the brown shirts for the left in America.
Precisely.
The team left.
Precisely.
You know?
Yeah.
And so they're not going to report on them for doing what they do, because it would make them look like they've got brown shirts running around there doing, the work for the left. And that's the last thing they want to present this as. So they just say, oh, no, they're fine. They don't really exist. It's just an idea.
No. And they go to these No Kings rallies like this assassin did. And they recruit guys like this. If this guy wouldn't have come up with the idea on his own, I guarantee he's on a short list for his local Antifa recruitment group. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I mean, he fits the bill. He's going to the No Kings rally, which is, again, just the stepping stone into this world of extreme violence that you can't deny. It's there, folks. It's there. If you don't think it exists, try to set up a, peaceful rally in your neighborhood, park, where you're going to pray for America and, praise God, and just see how many Antifa show up. It's dangerous. If you try to do something like that, it's dangerous. If they get wind of it and decide to go after you, you're going to be in fear for your lives by the time that day is over. For doing something like a prayer group in a city park with a permit.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. And, in the backdrop of all this, we're still in this government shutdown, if I'm not mistaken. Are we not?
In a partial, so there's something that's still not getting done. Yeah, there's some
Department of Homeland Security is not being funded. The Secret Service agent that got shot the other night was not being paid for his work. He took a bullet while wearing a bulletproof vest, but he still took a bullet in the chest. And the guy was there not getting paid. Think about that. He doesn't know when he's getting paid. It's up to Chuck Schumer to decide when that guy and everyone in his, associates gets paid, because they're too stubborn to actually run the government at a time like this when we're actually in a war. Department of Homeland Security, we don't need them now. Then when do we need them? Why do we even fund them if we don't need them now?
Oh, I actually kind of agree with that point, being the libertarian that I am. But hey, that's just me.
Yeah, and that's why I word it the way because I share a bit of that libertarian blood in me. But if we don't need them now, when do we need them? Why do we even have them?
Yeah, if we're not getting a service from them, why are we funding them at all? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's go. Let's take that sword, Occam's razor, man. Doge on steroids. I wish they went in where there was all this talk about them going in and shutting down entire departments. And Department of Education is at the top of the list with Linda McMahon. Is it going to happen? Are we there? Are we about to, shut down the Department of Education? I hope so. That would be wonderful. It'd be the best thing for our kids this country has ever done.
No, I don't think so. I think that is going to require Congress again, and they would have to get off their butts to do something. Of course, they did, of course, get that whole trigger passed, the so your car can detect whether you're drunk or not and shut off. They did pass that, of course, but they didn't, try to protect our voting rights or, go after Antifa or cut the Department of Education, but they can put triggers in our car to protect us from ourselves, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand how we get Congress like this so bad until I start looking at the money, like you said earlier. The money and the influence that the money has on the way that they vote against their people is it's disheartening. And it's part of the reason why we have such violence going on right now, is that people are not happy with the way they're being governed. Yeah.
I'm seeing here from the Right Scoop that Gavin Newsom was officially warned of rampant hospice fraud over 4 years ago.
Of course he was.
4 years ago. Hey, this is a real problem. We're, shelling out, tens of billions of dollars a year for absolute fraud, and they don't care.
Nope.
Is it because of the people doing it? Like I know in Minnesota, Somalia, whatever, same thing, right?
Same thing.
There was so many of the Somalis doing the fraud that they looked at it as sort of a way to support that community. They look the other way because it's good for the Somali community, gives them money, gives them a grounding here in the United States, a chance to, set roots, so to speak.
I think
so they turn a blind eye to it. Is this what happened in California too, or is they just completely negligent? I mean, it's negligent in Minnesota too, right?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think you got it right. This is not the first time something like this has happened. But back in the day of the New York Tammany Hall, they used to just hand out money and beers to go vote. I mean, so it's just buying votes. That's what it is. It's buying votes.
Yeah. So you turn a blind eye and say, hey, vote for me and I will, bust you for your $10 million a year worth of fraud that you're putting in your back pocket that should be going to people who are in need.
And if you happen to kick me a nice donation to my reelection fund, I won't even bat an eye.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you, folks, it's a broken system that we have. It's still the best system on the planet. We just need to get it back to its roots. We just need to go back to limiting government and really just having honest people in these positions, for crying out loud. We need honest, good people to get into these spots, people who know how this stuff works and can fix it on a private scale. I hate to say it, but like an Elon Musk, somebody can just go in there and say, this is all broken, let's fix it. And the best way to fix it is to break it even more for now and then piece it back together with a fraction of what it has today. Because we're $40 trillion in debt. We can't go forward the way we're going forward.
No.
As a country, that can happen.
Won't survive.
Anyway,
no
Doc, where can people find you online?
Always follow me on Rumble, X, and of course my favorite place, minds.com, at Doctor420. That's Doctor with an E, 420. Always.
All right. On that note, folks, we're out of time, so we're going to end the show here. Have a great week in front of you. Thanks for listening, and we will see you on Wednesday night.
Great show, guys. Thanks.
Excellent. I
All
gotta go to
right.
the bathroom,
Stepping out
guys. I'll
later
see you
on
later.
tonight. All right.
All right, man. Thanks, Mark. Thanks,
Yep.
everybody listening out there. We love you all in the interwebs. You're the best.
Yep. And
And-
I am going to host
and
us out to the Great
listening
Conspiracy.
out- If you're listening out there, too, make sure to check out Wednesday's show with Angel Munoz from beamstream.gg. It was phenomenal.
Yes, it was really, really good.
All right, man. I'll see you Wednesday, Mark.
Sounds great.
Actually, I won't.
No, you won't.
All right, peace.
Yeah. Hey, let Barry know that Nancy is going to come in and help him too if he needs it. Anyways, that's all I got for right now. I'll bring up some music and that later on. Maybe you'll hear some new stuff that I just generated out earlier today or yesterday. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to host out to the Great Conspiracy. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll be back later with some music.